I'm Diana Steele, and I'm here at Fresh Street Market to talk about salmon. The summer is wild salmon season, so you will find fresh wild salmon in your grocery stores. It's a little bit harder to find the fresh, not previously frozen in the winter, so take advantage of it now. Buy it today and then actually eat it today. If you need to store it in your refrigerator until tomorrow, our refrigerator is actually not kept quite cold enough, so it's a good idea when you bring your fish home to rinse it off, pat it dry with a paper towel, put it in, wrap it in a paper towel, put it in your plastic bag, and then store it with some ice either on top or underneath on your bottom shelf. Now make sure it's not on the top shelf because you don't want any salmon drippings to drip all over your fruits and vegetables. So down on the bottom where it's nice and cold with extra ice on top. When you're buying your salmon, make sure that if you're buying a whole fish, that the whole fish is actually underneath packed ice. Whereas if you're buying a salmon fillet like this one, this could be lying on top of the ice and it will be kept cold enough. If you are buying a whole fish, check the eyes if there is a head on the fish. The eyes should be clear and bulging, not sunken and pale or sort of murky colored. That just shows a sign of freshness. You also want your fish to be nice and firm to the touch, and it shouldn't smell. So if you want to ask your fishmonger if you can smell your fish, go for it. You just know that it's going to be fresh. You can also ask them how long it's been out, and they're happy to tell you. Now, salmon is a very nutritious piece of protein. It does have, in one serving, 2.5 ounces, contains 20 grams of protein, and it's a very high quality protein, being an animal protein, so it has all of the amino acids that we need. It's also very high in vitamin D, and vitamin D we've done a lot of research with vitamin D over the last 10 years or so, and we found that people that have a deficiency of vitamin D have a higher risk of diabetes and heart disease. So getting enough vitamin D is particularly important, and you can get up to 500 international units in just a 2.5 ounce serving of fish. So that's going to be about a piece like that, 2.5 ounces. Not very big. You also get omega-3s. Now, omega-3s are those fats that help with reducing your risk for heart disease and stroke. They actually can help lower your triglycerides, and they also can help prevent platelet aggregation, or making the platelets stick together. So they thin your blood and they open up your blood vessels and improve blood flow. So reducing your risk for stroke, for heart attack, but also for Alzheimer's and depression. So eating your salmon is a really good thing to be including in your diet. If you can try and have fish at least 2 or 3 times per week, whether it's your salmon or another kind of fatty fish like trout, or even steelhead trout has omega-3s. I know there's a difference between wild and farmed. If you can do your wild salmon line caught, fantastic. Sometimes you can't always find it. Steelhead trout you're going to find only farmed, but it is typically the steelhead trout that you get from our local grocery stores are from BC, from a ocean-wise fishery. So it's actually not so bad for our environment. Otherwise, go for wild. The wild fish are the ones that are not the couch potatoes. I think of them as the ones that have to fight for their food, whereas the farmed salmon are going to be fed, and so they kind of sit around and wait, and they're more fatty, and so they have a higher content of saturated fat. So the wild fish are going to have a higher percentage of omega-3. So that's what I want you to get more of, those omega-3s. So go enjoy your fish. Try putting on some different rubs, different flavorings like garlic and ginger, lemon. You can do soy sauce, a low sodium soy sauce, or you can just have it plain with a little bit of dill, and it's beautiful just as is. Enjoy.
Thank you, Diana. And if you would like to know more or have other nutrition questions, you can contact Diana at 604-739-3290 or check out her website, eatingforenergy.com. You can also follow Diana on Twitter, Eating for Energy.